Yes, y'all. Welcome back to the Klyph Notes podcast, available everywhere you listen to your podcasts. Yo, this is the final episode of 2022. It's been a great year, man. I've had an opportunity to interview so many amazing people, and we've had a chance to start building Klyph Notes Live, which has been something I've wanted to do for quite some time. And I feel really, really blessed that it is now a reality. Shout out to the Show Bar at Revolution Hall in Portland, Oregon. Such an amazing venue, man. If you have a chance to check it out, please do, man. I'm so grateful for the folk over there. Big ups to my guy Theo, who I've been working with and doing the Show Bar location, to Cleo and all the staff over there at Show Bar, man. It's been great. Truly appreciate it. This is the final episode of the series at Show Bar, and had a chance to record it with a pretty amazing individual. A local producer, musician, mentor, and just a cool cat, man. My guy, Farnell Newton, is my guest on the final episode of 2022, the Klyph Notes podcast, the final episode in the series at the Show Bar of Klyph Notes Live. We'll definitely be back in 2023. Looking forward to doing the live situation over at Portland Center Stage at the Armory. Tap in to hear about that. But in the meantime and in between time, here's the latest episode of the Klyph Notes podcast featuring Farnell Newton. Support for the Klyph Notes podcast comes from Akepele Apparel, an idea born from a love of hip-hop, funk, and soul music and its surrounding cultures. With fashion being a huge visual part of the cultures, they've created expressive images to pay homage, invoke nostalgia, and showcase the elements that make up the lifestyle and cultures of these genres. Akepele, apparel for the music lifestyle. For more information, check out akepele.com. That's AKEPELE.com. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live recording of the Klyph Notes podcast at the Show Bar PDX. Thank y'all for being here. Yeah. Put your hands together. It's so dope to be back here at the Show Bar. It's bittersweet. It's been an amazing series here, and the Show Bar has been such gracious hosts to be able to help us kick this thing off. So thank you so much to the Show Bar, to Revolution Hall. It's been dope. We got Mighty in the building, who has been a guest on Klyph Notes Live. Good to see you, brother, man. Good to see you too, man. Yeah, bruh. We got DJ Renz, who's been playing for us, who's been a guest on Klyph Notes Live, and a constant supporter of Klyph Notes. If you're in the building, you get to see it. If you're not in the building, you'll get to see photos, I'm sure, rocking the official Klyph Notes Live tees. So we got merch now, man.
Yo, those are icy.
Right?
Nice.
So Akepele Apparel, once again, is a supporter of Klyph Notes, and it's dope to be able to rock some new gear. And there's another announcement that we're gonna make here in a minute. But before we get too far into it, Renz, man, I just want to say what up.
What's up?
Say, bro, like for real, this is dope to have you here. You know what I mean?
It's cool.
Spinning that Klyph Notes, bro.
It's almost like full circle.
Come on, bro, say that. That's what I mean, yo. So since the last time we had you here, you kicked off the Epitome of Dope brand, and that continues to grow, man. What's the latest?
Still on pause for some more merch. I'm trying to build the aesthetic of the brand first.
Yeah.
And that's taking some time.
No doubt.
Definitely have Akepele pulling most of my time right now. So
that's what's up. But I be seeing the messages. I be seeing the Epitome of Dope messages coming.
That's part of it, though. It's being able to try and push the message out there and get people to know what it's about and what my mission with it is. The merch can come later, but it's really about what it's about. So
that's what's up, B. And so once again, like I said, we got the I don't know what we gonna call this. We got the preview the Klyph Notes Live, you know, the next collaboration with.
Yeah, show my back too. Hold on.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Right? That's how we do it, baby. That's how we do it. You know what I mean?
We planned that. We got here at like 6.
Right? I mean, man.
You're over here doing that kid and play.
Right. That dude said, "Kid, play what?"
He said, no, we can't hop through our legs anymore.
No, bro. 2 days behind. 2 days behind, yo. But Shelby, I just want to say thank you so much for continuing to support. Thank you for being here and rocking tonight. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Make some noise for DJ Ranch, y'all. Tonight, like I said, it's bittersweet. This is going to be the end of the series of Klyph Notes Live here at the Show Bar, and again, just very, very grateful for the opportunity to do this here. And it's cool to be able to end the series having this conversation that we're going to have tonight. Someone who I'm just a fan of and who has done so much in the music scene. I'm not even going to say Portland music scene, because just the music scene. For a number of years, and every time I talk to him, I learn like something else that he's done or something that he's doing, and definitely somebody that I want to celebrate. So everybody in the room, if you would please help me welcome Mr. Farnell Newton. Yo, B, thank you for doing this, bruh.
What's up, man? It's been a long time.
Long time.
I remember the first one. That was
years ago.
That was forever ago.
Years ago. So, you know, just for me, man, when I think back to my recollection of who you are, understanding or knowing who you are, I initially knew of you as this horn player, this guy who, you know, I'd see playing with bands around the city, and just, you know, just this talented musician. But then I came to find out that it didn't necessarily just start with that. Like you was making beats, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, I mean I'm a even though I'm a jazz head,
yeah,
as far as like my love and training in music, but I've always grew up on I've always been a product of hip hop.
Yeah.
Always been a product of hip hop. Growing up in Miami, originally from Miami, you know, I could probably still quote most of Two Live Crew songs still, and they've gotten me in trouble many times. But yeah, I've always been a product of just good music and collaboration.
Yeah, it's interesting to me to get to know someone like yourself and see how you work and how you move and all the many different circles that you work in and all of the creative projects that I see you involved in. It's obviously really in your blood. What's like for you? Where does that come from? What's the story of your start in this whole music thing?
I mean, it really, you know, my family. I come from a family of musicians, but music wasn't in the house. I mean, music was in the house, but I didn't see anybody play music. That was like before I came, where, you know, my mom was a musician and my grandma sang, and different people did different things and such. But it really came up when I moved to Philadelphia and started really getting into jazz and saw that it was really a communal, it was all about the community. Like, you know, like I had like, at the time of growing up in Philadelphia, when I moved to Philadelphia, you know, we were 16 years old and I was getting dragged around to clubs and playing with world legends now, and seeing the Roots at the mall, chilling at the Galleria, or seeing different musicians and people perform in Philadelphia, and you know, it just really taught me about community and the connecting of being social, because jazz is a social music. It's a music that connects so many different people. And now, when I got older and learned that jazz has been like, jazz musicians and jazz music has been almost at the foundation of a lot of music that we have today, you know, from hip hop to soul and everything else, and funk and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you could look at almost any band, funk band, salsa band, whatever. They always had jazz musicians in it because it was very adaptable, very versatile.
It's so cool to hear you talk about that, because oftentimes I think when we think of music, and again, if I'm looking at it through the lens of like, bro, stinking Farnell Newton.
Dude.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's like that, but then sometimes I'm also like, I was just driving my daughter to ballet, and I forgot to put on some regular shoes, and I still got my Crocs on with Luigi, and because that's how I am. I'm young at heart, but I always try to stay connected and in the middle of everything, no matter what. Jazz, funk, soul, and also, when I worked in the city of Portland for 10 years in the Villa, I was, I knew all the young bucks, that are rapping and doing everything now. So, and I always just stayed accessible. That was really, and that's what the old heads taught me, the old head jazz musicians, that if you went up to them and talked to them, they might not at first want to give you the knowledge, but if you show up and knock on that door enough times, eventually they're going to say, get yourself in here and let me start teaching you, because I see I can't get rid of you. So it's always, and that's just how I always told myself I didn't want to be that older musician being like, you guys this, and I didn't want to be that guy. I want to be that guy to be like, yo, what you need? Like, yo, you need like capes, what you need? You need 16 bar trumpet solo slaps, what do you need? Like whatever, like whoever.
But and so you bring that up, and that's true, man. So when I have an opportunity to get a new record from a local artist, a local rapper, I can't even count the number of times that I'm listening to the song and I'm like, yo, those are Farnell horns.
Of course.
So I mean, you've played on so many artists who call Portland home. You've played on their projects, and sort of tied into that what you just talked about in terms of young people coming to you and you being in a position to spread knowledge. We get to see that, man. I mean, anybody who even kind of pays attention to seeing you on stages and seeing you at events, we get to see these young artists that you pull into the projects that you're working on. And so I just want to say big ups to you for doing that. For making sure that the upcoming generation feels included, feels a part of what you're building.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, that was just, I've always believed that if you want to be relevant, you have to show up and you have to be a part of it. You can't be on the sidelines and say like, hey, I'm not on this list of the top 20 so-and-sos in Portland and such. And it's like, well, when the last time you showed up to somebody else's show? When the last time did you like shake hands with somebody just to come through and support? Like, I still go to musicians' gigs, and I still pay to cover, and I still come through and support them. And a lot of times they're like, yo, where's your horn? And I'm like, yo, I'm not here for that. I'm here really just to show my face and to support you. Just like, the old heads did for me, and likewise,
Man, bro, there's so many things. I don't even know if we're gonna get to it all tonight. So I want to
get to it all. It's a lot of
there's
stuff.
There's so
man.
much, bro. I want to jump on a couple things. I want to do a little name dropping. So shout out to Wifey, who's always here in the building supporting.
Shout out to Wifey.
I was telling her some of the things that you've done, some of the projects that you've done. So just some of the people that you've had an opportunity to play with and support. I was telling her that for a minute you was touring with Jill Scott.
Yeah, I did. I toured with Jill Scott for 3 years, close to 3 years. Shout out to saxophonist Mike Phillips for really putting me in that circle of people. And I also toured at the same time. Man, shout out to my wife, yo, like for real, because she held it down when I had the little when they were little, and I was gone. But I was touring at the same time with Bootsy Collins. So literally, I would go sometimes from a Jill Scott show, fly to London and play with Jared Lawson for a week or so in London, and then jump back on a plane to go be with Bootsy Collins for a month, and then be home maybe for like 3 weeks, and then I might get a call the second week being like, yo, we need to fly you out early because we doing Kimmel or some show or something. So I was busy at the time, but even before that, one of my first gigs out of college, well, I was still in college. I was 20 years old, sitting at the bar with my professor teaching me about single and double malt scotch. We were playing with Aretha Franklin, and for some reason she always was in Ohio, and every time she was in Ohio, we played in her band, and But just over the years, even being in Portland, you know, I used to do all of those pickup bands. You know, they'd do like the Oldies tour at the Motor Center, and it'd be like the Sly, Slick, and the Wicked, and Milo, and Car Wash, and such. But then, you know, because of Mike Phillips and being really tight with Mike Phillips back in 2009, he was like, "Yo, you're dope.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to hear you."
Yeah.
Plus, he was like, "Yo, you were a professor too, so you know this stuff. Like, you taught this stuff." So he started dragging me out. We started doing Soul Train Awards and working with everyone from, you know, Erykah Badu to Natalie Cole to Gladys Knight to, I mean, just everybody. Tony Braxton, Ludacris to Uncle Charlie Wilson, and just everybody and their mom. And then from there, being on cruise ships and playing with him introduced me to a whole new circuit of musicians and stuff that was doing like the smooth jazz and soul. And next thing you know, I'm playing with like Will Downing and Angie Stones and the OJs and Eric Benet and Dwele, which was like the highlight for me. I'm like, you know, I'm a Dilla head, like, you know, and Dwele and the horns and the singing, but and you know, I'm playing with George Duke and Savion Glover, and I mean, it's Sinbad and building those, being on a boat with someone for 7 days, you see them a lot.
Right.
So you get to have a lot of conversations and build up some good friendships. So, yeah. And I mean, I've played and worked with everybody and their mama, you know, but I just like to just support like the cats that are hungry and the dope people.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of dope artists in Portland. That's not even like a lot of people know.
Yeah. Well, and I, you know, I bring that up because I think that you hear when people hear these names, they go, "Oh wow, you've played with all these people," but then to bring it full circle to say, "But you reside in Portland."
Mm-hmm.
You mean, and
This
so
is home.
yeah,
Home
so
base.
the fact that you have shown your skill level and your gift for art and creating and connecting with people, and then you bring all of that knowledge and that energy here to the city in great part because there is so much great talent.
Oh yeah.
Here in Portland, Oregon.
And also, you can't take it with you when you're gone.
Well, say that.
Like, you know, that's why I don't care if it's like young rappers. I'm like, yo, go find the Cool Nuts, go find the Maniac Lokes, go find the Kenny.
Yeah.
But man,
Shout
what's
to Millennium.
Yeah. There's so many names. I've been knowing some of these
Right.
rappers so long. I'm like, yo, which name is it? But it's like, yo, go tap them, see what the scene was like. When I was playing funk music in Portland, who was I calling up? I was calling up Marlon McClain from Pleasure. I was calling up the old cast. I was hitting them up, seeing like how was Portland in the 70s and the stories and who they worked with and managed or toured with and recorded records with and such. And I mean, it's just like you like I said, you can't take it with you, you know, and it's not yours to keep.
Yeah.
Like what am I gonna do hoarding all of this stuff? Like, you know, once it's gone, it's gone. So let me spread this stuff around and spread the love, you know.
Yeah. One of the ways that I see you sharing platforms, aside from just knowledge, is through the creation and then production of projects. So you have a couple of labels now.
Dude, I got too many things happening.
So you got the lo-fi joint.
Yeah, lo-fi jazz soul,
lo-fi jazz
which
soul.
I've kind of like stepped back a little bit because I've just been so busy. But that's like the base of a lot of things I do in streaming because I'm tapped into that streaming market and playlisting and such. So lo-fi jazz soul. Last year I started with my business partner Hunter Love, a music production company called Formation Sound, custom music with soul, and we just doing a lot of stuff for TV.
Wait.
Custom music with soul.
Okay.
Because sometimes custom music, like, that's the thing, we were talking, Mighty and us were just talking about it. A lot of times people think like, if you're making music for TV and shows and such, it has to be a little sterile or it has to be a little not the full and real thing. And we're like, yo, we want to put our foot and soul into everything. So then if this bumped on the radio, you're going to be like, yo, who's that?
Right.
Let me Shazam now. Who?
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it should be. So I got lo-fi jazz soul, Formation Sound, and that's pretty much it. I'm so swamped between that and like family and older kids in college calling me for money all the time and such, and boy, and relationship problems and stuff. But you know, it's but what else? I mean, then you know, I work full time at Marmoset Music, so I'm tapped into an ecosystem of creatives and agencies and that are doing TV, film, and advertisement, commercials, and things like that. You know, basically all the time. So
for people who may be listening or people who are here who are not familiar with what that is, can you just kind of give us the Klyph Notes version of what Marmoset is?
Well, Marmoset, I mean, in a way, you know, before it was like a boutique music licensing company, so that they basically created music or signed artists from around the world to basically have their music pitch for TV, film, and commercials, which now is like a very viable way to make a living as an artist, you know, because a little ad placed on, because if you have to think about it, every platform on social media, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is, if it has music on it, they have to clear that. Those companies have to clear that from somewhere, and they come to Marmoset to do so.
Yeah.
And even TV and film. I mean, if you think about it, a TV show episode might have like 20 to 30 songs in it.
Right.
You know, and that's just one episode out of, if you watch a Netflix, 10 episodes, or if you watch a TV, 24 episodes. So there's a lot of possibilities and opportunities for musicians to make good bread out there and still be creative, especially at a time when the pandemic like shut down the whole scene.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and we were all twiddling our thumbs in March 2020, wondering what we were going to do. So,
no doubt.
But yeah, they're in Portland. I love working with them because they got their hands in the community. They donate and do all kind of things from like youth programs, Kairos, PDX, Black Parent Initiative, like Girl Rocks, camps and things like that. They do everything to organizations from LGBTQ, IA plus, and all of the Asian American and Native. They do so much in the community besides just like, you know, putting music on ads and such. And also we've been pulling in artists and such who might not have like the understanding of this industry but are dope making music and really trying to like hone that and help them make a living from doing this, and it's pretty great.
That's what's up, man. I know when Mighty was on and we did our interview and he talked about doing the piece and the connection with the Seattle team, and you know, I'm revamped, remodeled, or reorganized my studio, so I am going to be getting back on the beat production, and I will be in your ear, Farnell.
Hey, guess what? I'm that type of person. I let people know. I'm like, yo, I'm here. If you serious, I tell people, I'm like, yo, if you serious and you willing to put in the work, like let's do it. Like, and that's the thing about it. For the people that tap me, you know, they have nothing but great things to say, because, you know, I'm not at the point now where I could go out and go to shows all the time and stuff and being like, oh, let me tap that person. But now it's like, yo, they know who I am, or they found out. The community is only so small, but I'm like, yo, if you're ready to work, even if you don't really know what the hell you're doing, like I can help point you in the right direction, and then from there, I need you to do your own homework and such, and then come back to me and let's make it happen.
No doubt.
You know, because the same thing, that was the thing for Mighty. A lot of that connection kind of stemmed all the way back to Marmoset. But the thing about it is, like, Mighty was on that song, and then when I heard the song, I was like, wait, those are my horns on there. I was like, oh yeah, that's the one song I did for so-and-so, but I didn't know who was gonna be on. You know, sometimes I don't hear the finished project, and then sometimes I hear it. I'm like, yo, that's dope. And I've been wanting to connect with Mighty and such, and then we just have Mighty connect with Formation Sound and Hunter Love. So, you know, it's just like, yo, we just out here just working and really just like doing dope stuff in the community and really just trying to build things, man.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think if people have listened to Klyph Notes over the years, they've heard from so many creatives who are in the city, and it's interesting when the pandemic happened. one of the things that I said, it was going to be interesting to me to see who took advantage of that time, right? Because a lot of, like you said, people couldn't gig. So people who had that as a stream of income or just had it as an outlet for their creative process, they couldn't do that. So I was interested to see, well, what would happen on the other side of that? Mm-hmm. So as someone who is a creative, but then is also a curator, and just such a big part of that now in 2022, getting ready to go into 2023. What does the scene in Portland look like to you now?
I mean, there's a lot of good things happening in the scene, and I've seen, we still have a lot of different organizations or crews of people still pushing through music. We still have Thesis, we still have Mic Check, we still have New Bop with the Young Jazz Cats, Charlie Brown and the whole crew, all my young bucks over there. But you got a lot of those people pushing through, and also this time gave a lot of the younger people who probably weren't getting their shine before to be able to put their foot out there or really start gigging and doing things and putting getting their name out there more as creatives and artists and such. So, but at the same time, not everybody was capable of also doing that, because a lot of us, and even with some of my kids and family and such, we dealing with anxiety and depression and the pandemic and being alone and all kind of mental health, and then also the state of the world. But it's like but there's a lot of people out here really doing like their thing, and I doubled down on myself, and I was just like what am I gonna do? Let me not only get myself out there fast, but let me reach back and grab the next homie who wants to come up and give him those same resources if he's willing to work hard. Because my thing is that's how I got hooked up with Hunter Love. We were making music together, but I saw he was serious and really putting in the time and dedication to finish songs and to really. I'll send him a song and wouldn't even be like, yo, what you think about this? And next thing you know, I'll get it back with vocals on it. Yeah. That was killing. And I was like, yo, I gotta keep this cat with me, man. And I was October 2021, and now it's we just passed almost the 1 year mark, and it's a lot of opportunities for us, but we also get to see a lot of new people and stuff that wasn't. We get to see the Zaya Bells and you're getting to see a lot of different other artists. The Low Steels coming out crushing it in theater and at the Armory and Girding, and we got Charlie Brown and those cats really hustling, blending jazz and the music they grew up on, soul and hip hop and such. So it's just it's a lot of work out here. It's but you gotta stay consistent and stay in it.
So speaking of that, one of the things that you, bruh, I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I just saw that Funklandia is coming.
Yeah, we're gonna bring Funklandia back. I mean, we did it was crazy because we did Funklandia May of 2019, and I had. So
let people know what it is.
Well, Funklandia, I just wanted to have a place where we could celebrate funk music in Portland. Portland has an amazing funk scene. You have different people who are in that scene who's definitely amplifying funk music, from the Tony Oziers, myself, Tyrone Hendricks, but then you also have my man Bobby Smith over at the Albina Music Trust that was curating and pulling up reels from the people's basements and garages and releasing them out into the world. And I wanted just a place where we could amplify and showcase funk music. In that first year, 2019, we had Stevie Ray Mays, who played with everybody, bass player. We had Sarah Clark. We had Arietta Ward. We had the whole Othership connection. And then I brought up Frankie Cashwati. And Frankie Cashwati was Bootsy Collins' drummer, who in turn played for James Brown and toured with James Brown. Parliament Funkadelic and all of those other bands, Parliament Funkadelic and many other rock and funk greats from around the world and such. So, we brought him up, and because he was always when we were on the road, he was yo, just let me know what you need, man, and I'm there. And that was the same thing about the other shit. We were in France on these 14-hour bus trips, between towns, and I was yo, I'm starting this band in town. It's called the Othership Connection. I was like, it's like the Mothership Connection.
Right.
And they were like, yo, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And that was the same thing. We opened up from George Clinton once, and we told them, we were like, yo, we playing Maggie Burn tonight, which is their hit, like one of their hit songs. And they were like, yo, go ahead and do it. Like, they're supportive. I mean, look at West Coast hip hop. It wouldn't be a West Coast hip hop without funk.
Say that, bro.
I mean, We Want Easy is Bootsy Collins. Bootsy.
Yep.
Easy. Yep. All of that stuff was all. If it wasn't for the soul jazz and the soul music of the 60s and 70s, it would be no East Coast.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for the funk, it wouldn't be no West Coast hip hop the way we know it.
Absolutely.
And to the day. I mean, they still making West Coast. I just recorded a song the other day with this producer called West Coast Stone featuring Bootsy Collins, and it's just still.
Yeah.
And it was crushing. I was like, yo, you can't tell me the funk ain't strong in the West Coast.
You're also doing another situation. Isn't there some Cool Whip or some whipped cream or something?
Oh, that's what Tyrone. Tyrone's my dude. I think Tyrone's been here since, and that's how I first met DJ Renz. Tyrone. I've been knowing Tyrone since 2004, since he came up with. From Oakland, we played together in Lil Warfield, we played together in Doodle Funk, we played together at Jared Lawson, all of these bands, Saida Wright, Arietta Ward, whatever. And he holds it down at the Alberta Street Pub all the time. And at the time, I was a little frustrated about I didn't have the capacity to lead my own band because I'm doing so much stuff with work and also with Formation Sound. So he was just like, yo, let's still just keep the band together and just call it a different name. And he was like, I'll run point on it. So we ended up going from a silly name that I made up because I used to have a name. We used to do Farnell Newton Soul of Jazz at 1905. Someone tried to steal that. We're not going to say any names, what venues and places. But so I decided I call it Farnell Newton Sexual Chocolate with vanilla sprinkles, right? And then we called it whipped cream, and we're using like the photo from the trumpeter Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass. We're using that kind of as like the photo. I'd say we need to get Kyle and put like some whipped cream on his head or something and cherry, and then use that instead. So eventually Herb Albert don't see it or something and call us up, because that's the type of stuff that does happen. I've had weird encounters with people and such, so.
Yeah. The style of music is what then? Would you?
It's just funk and soul and jazz and everything mixed in. You never know. Like, he like Tyrone might have OG1 there, and OG1 is like throwing, Tell Me When to Go, E40 on top of Tyrone's drums. And because I told Tyrone a long time ago, I was like, yo, you and OG1 needs to just do some duo shows, just drums and DJ. Just play the cuts and just go ham, And so we do a lot of that. It depends on who in the audience. I might want to play a hip hop song. I might want to play the Roots. You got me. We might want to do a funk song. We might want to do Tevin Campbell or something like that. You never know. It's just like we could go anywhere, and that's why I love those guys, because they're very versatile and not stuck in one niche or lane.
So I wanna bring it back around because I'm very comfortable saying that, like, I'll fanboy out. You know what I'm saying? When I see people who I think are great at whatever their craft is, and I always feel very appreciative that like I got your number in my phone. Or whatever. Does that resonate with you at all?
So it does, and it's funny because my daughter does carpooling for ballet, and the other girl that's in the carpool dad is a music teacher. So he's like, how is it? You're like, your dad is Farnell Newton. Or with my older daughters, I used to take on a basketball, and they'd be like, yo, your dance, Farnell, you know, or I'll be in the line or somewhere, or I'll be at the PTA meeting or something, and it resonates and such. But at the same time, I let people know, like, yo, like I wear different hats and such. Like I'm the dad, the cool dad, like to kick it and play video games or watch anime and joke with the kids. But at the same time, you know, when it's time to get on the stage and take care of business, no matter who it's with, I need to be, you know, I live by my saying, you know, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready, because at a point in my life, you never know who was calling and knocking at the door, because Mike Phillips might call me up and we'd be at a show, and next thing you know, Stevie Wonder's on the stage and Layla Hathaway's on the stage, or Najee is OG smooth jazz, like, you know, Gerald Albright, you never know who's on it. Or he's like, yo, we doing a video shoot today, I need you over there. We doing a video shoot with Sharp Floyd, you know, Heart of Hustle, and like Brian McKnight and such. And you're like, you never know what's gonna happen. Like literally he hit me up and was like, yo, I need you for the Jill Scott tour. Yeah. And we got there to rehearsals, and you kind of like, yo, like, what are we doing? And they're like, well, we need to have all this music learned. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I need some coffee. I drank all the coffee in my hotel room every day. For like 2 to 3 days, I didn't sleep because I didn't want to get sent home. I wanted to know what I was doing. But at the same time, that opened up, you know, I told the wifey, I said, yo, in 6 months, if my career it's not going forward and up, let's have that discussion. You know, now it was like 3 years later, we had and it wasn't even because of, like, I wasn't stopping, but, you know, we had a deaf in the family, and my wife was like, hey, I need you around and such, and I was like, of course, like, you know, that's me, I like to take care of the family and such. But it does resonate, and sometimes some people are just like, well, Farnell, you need to let people know what you do and who you work with, and I'm like, but that's cool, but that's not me, that's not, guess what, like, who can I help in this room, like, get to their next place? Or, you know, like, we got this young lady in Portland, Julia Loge. Yo, she got this song that's crushing. And I was like, yo, let me send that to my email blast of DJs in the U.S. and the U.K. You know, I like the flex, but a humble flex. But then I'm like, yo, my UK connects. You know, I got Giles Peterson, and I got all the and these are the homies. Like, when you know, they love me as much as I love them, and next thing you know, they were just bumping her in the UK like crazy, and I'm like, it's just another Portlander playing all over the world, and that's what we just got to keep doing, support it. That's the only way we're gonna keep getting more attention, because people want to be like, well, I'm gonna do me and I'm gonna do that. You could do that, but guess what? Like, people want to hate and be like, well, Mine doesn't do this. But guess what? He comes back to Portland. He talks about Portland. It's like, who else is coming in Portland, going out there and putting in the work and shining back to Portland?
Let me ask you this, bro, because a conversation that I've had a number of times throughout the years kind of touches on that, where there's a sense that, and I ain't gonna lie, bro, I've even felt this way. There's a sense that there's not a scene in Portland. When we think about, if you think about New York, okay, I know what that feels like. If you think about LA, I know what that feels like. You think about Atlanta, I know what that feels like. Is it because we are here, like we're so close to it we can't see it? Or is Portland just different?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, yes, we are different. We're unique. We you know, because some people say, well, we don't have a Portland sound. Well, we don't need to have a Portland sound. Like, not every place has a sound. You know, but at the same time, we're so close that I feel like we don't have it. If the industry's not here, we don't have the connections and such. But it's like, yo, it's right there. Like, what can you do to get more traction as an artist? Like, besides, I said, showing up and supporting people and getting to know and shake hands. That's how jazz. If I moved from Portland and moved anywhere else, and if I was a young musician and I moved anywhere else in this country, I would have to go out all the time, shake hands, meet people, perform, network, show up at events, perform. You know, perform, shake hands, perform, shake hands, perform, shake hands, call people, email people. Like, you can do that on your own. You don't need anyone to say, you know, I hear artists like, yo, I want to go on tour one day. Why not? Call up the spots. LA is only down the street. There's plenty of There's plenty of places from here. Dude, as a brand new band, the other ship did a 2-week tour. We had 1 day off. We played from Portland, Eugene, we played on all these little places, Arcata, Shasta. Oh, we played all the way down to San Diego.
Yeah.
Played all the way back up to Seattle. Some shows was crazy.
Yeah.
Some shows had like 10 people in them. But guess what? There was like 10 people who followed us and made sure they became fans. It's like, yo, Arietta Ward was just talking about like going to London. She just put some money. She saved some money, put it on a plane ticket, paid for her room. I said, yo, you going to London? Cool, let me email some people. Let me introduce you to some people, because she put the money and time to go out there. And it's like, yo, we don't have to wait. No one's gonna find you. You could be dope, but you have to put in that extra work and go out there, and don't be like, well, they're not recognizing me and what I've done to Portland and such. Nah, bruh. Yeah. When I hear those discussions, and I see all of those discussions, because sometimes I get a little, you get these people from like North Portland going against Northeast Portland. I'm like, what are y'all fighting over? And first of all, me, I've been in the North for like 20 years, so like I'm a little biased. Like, like don't be talking about my dudes. Like, like yo, I'm gonna chime in too. But the thing about it is like, yo, let's all keep going out there and let people know where we're from, and keep shining a light on Portland, just like we doing in sync music and such. You got Easy McCoy out there crushing it. He's working with other people like Mighty. He's working with like my young boy Hunter Love, myself. He's working with different agencies, different producers, people who are just like wanting to work. He probably throwing his money down on and flying to Vegas to go to network and connect and collaborate. And guess what? The doors have just been opening up for him. Just like it's the same thing in my career. That's why, I'm not, you could go into any jazz club or a lot of places and say, like, yo, you from Portland? They're going to be like, yo, you know Farnell?
Right.
Like, that's my dude. Tell him I say what's up.
Right.
But that's how it is. Like, put in the work. Put in that work and time, spend that money, go to network. I'm trying to get into TV and film music, like writing for shows. And I'm like, yo, guess what? You got to go to LA, knock on some doors, tap some people, and be like, yo, this is what I'm trying to do. Like, what do you need? How can I be of service? Like, what? You need me to write something? I'll write something. Might not even be that great, but hopefully with you helping me, we could make it dope.
And it's so much of it is, I don't know, bro. It's everything that we've talked about this evening. It's you looking for ways to share knowledge and understanding with others, and creating opportunity. And that's just what you did, bro. Like you like tonight, that's what you did. You opened a playbook. Like,
but
let's go do this.
When I first moved here, who was I hanging out with? The hip hop heads who came to the jazz clubs. Who used to come to the jazz clubs? Jumbo. Reverend Shines. They used to come to Jimmy Max, Fremont Slim, DJ DMP. All of them cats. So when I first was like getting on the scene, I remember recording for Star Child on his record, recording for Libretto, recording for Blacks. I did Lifesavers. I did 2 songs on their last joint, and then it's just like, and I'm just working, like who wants to work, who wants to collab. Then next thing you know, who's at the jazz club like 10 years later? Taupe. And his mom, Taupe and grandma, coming out to hear shows and such. And Taupe is like, yo, I got this group called T&E, and I want to work with you and such. And the next thing you know, like Taupe is blowing up with Lil Russell. And Taupe is like, yo, we might need some horns. Like, what's up? Let me know. You might do. And then Lil Russell's like, yo, you the OG. You work with Taupe. The Great White. No, he calls him the Great White.
No lie.
But that's what you do. Like, I put in a lot of work, so then Cass is going to see Versatile and all of them and such. And then, Tony Ozier moves to town. Our mutual friend Shaka brings him over to Jimmy Max. And then, Tony's gigging. Then Tyrone's in town. And then Dennis Dove and Arietta is coming out her shell. Because I used to know her because she used to be her mom's roadie. And it's like, we just supporting. Like, yo, you doing a record? What you need? if I record horns for your record, if I need some vocals, some background vocals, I need you to come through.
So now, what you really just described is you just put all of those thoughts to bed. No, there is a music community.
It's a big music community, and they're all
there
connected.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, everybody sometimes is so disjointed, and they want to have their own thing and do their own thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you could be strong by yourself, but yo, if I get the crew together,
come on.
I mean, I tell people, I'm saying, yo, look at Nelly. They got Nelly out there first, and then guess what? Then the same Lunatics is out.
Right.
Look at Eminem.
Right.
Eminem was, and then he pulled out D12.
Right.
Like who can we get out there who's got that? Don't hate that they like Eminem or so and so. Let him go.
Yeah.
Support your man and show up. Cause guess what? You next.
Yeah.
So if I need something done, I might not be able to know how to do it, but I could go to somebody. If I need somebody that I know that raps a certain way for a song, I'm gonna call them up and be like, yo, Hunter, like, he's like, man, I want to work with Mighty. I said, well, do you DM him yet?
Yeah.
Like, all you could do is reach out. Well, I don't know if Easy might like this song. I'm like, well, hit up Easy McCoy.
Right.
Next thing you know, he's on Easy's record singing. Yeah. Now Easy's on one of our records. Mighty, we on a joint with Seattle's Mariners, but now he on one of our songs. And we got you keep building, you keep working, and it's like, yo, let's support each other, let's be humble, and then when we all pop, we all look good, we all shine.
100%.
Guess what?
100%.
Like, who in my circle is not shining? Like, I'm like, yo, I want everybody to shine. I don't need to be the center of it. I'm like, nobody don't want to, I say this all the time, but I say, nobody don't want to hear no solo trumpet. There's 2 times you hear solo trumpet. The bugle call in the morning.
Yeah.
And when you dead.
Say that.
Taps.
Yeah.
That's the only 2 times you hear solo. Nobody don't want to hear that.
Savage
So guess
true.
what?
Savage.
I need to be with a crew.
Yeah.
In order to make the music, so it's just like, yo, we pull all each other up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we do. I mean, we support things. I show up to mic check and support the cast and whoever rapping and support the local cast and stuff and show up and make sure they got an audience and people that loves them and support them and such. And that's what you do.
I love that. I love that.
Because guess what? Then when they need something or I need something, they're going to show up.
100%. 100%. Because you're building community.
Yeah.
One of the crazy things, one of the things that I love about being able to do Klyph Notes Live is it gives me an opportunity to give the microphone to others, So I know that there are questions that people have of artists like yourselves. So I want to take a second. So we got some folk in the building. If anybody wants to come grab the microphone, you have a question for Farnell, now's your opportunity to do that. There's somebody coming up from the back. Somebody's coming up from the back. Let's see. So you gotta introduce yourself for those who are listening on the podcast. Hold on.
But before he introduced himself, when you do things that's selfless in the community, people are gonna see you and notice it. Before I even know he was like rapping. He was doing Laced Up and doing this all sorts of other organizations. So, yo, shout out to Mighty. What up?
Yo, that's big love. Big love for
man.
My question to you is, what would you tell a young Farnell Newton? Before the opportunities, before the Jill Scotts, before the conversations with the wifey about how you gonna hold home down while you gone. You feel me? Like, what you telling young Farnell?
Like the really, I think it's just like, trust in the process. Like, that's my big one. It's a little cliche right now, that saying, but it's true. It's like, especially if you got an old head or people that that's been in the industry that's really has done it, and if they tell you, like, I'm the type of person, I'm like, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do because I can't. My experience is different than your experience, but I'm going to tell you everything I know so that you don't have to step in the same potholes that I did. But the thing about it now, I'm expecting you to go do what? Go out there and put this knowledge into work and put this into some action, and just being like, trust the process, like, keep doing what you're doing, and I feel like double down in my own talent and self. That was big. I feel like this last year has really made a lot of noise, and for me in this industry, as far as sync and TV and such, and it's just like, yo, it's only gonna get better. We just keep collaborating, pulling in new cats and such. So, yeah.
So that's what's up. No doubt. No doubt.
We trying to make some bags, you know. Go get that bag. Go get that bag. Is that DoorDash? Go get no.
We got another question. We got another question from the audience.
Hello. I'm trying to connect the dots. Sorry, I have a cold. You mentioned Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And then Portland.
Oh Lord.
How you got from there to here to there? And I'm a fellow North Portland girl. George Elementary.
Yeah,
Pier
yeah.
Park. Yeah.
Definitely. I'm in St. John's. I've been in North Portland. Real quick, just to break that down, I'm originally born in Miami. I left Miami when I was 13. My grandmother died. My mom was a Rolling Stone. She was in and out and such. I moved to Boston with my uncle, who kind of cultivated me. He was going to Harvard. He was taking me to museums and libraries. Plus, he was in higher learning as far as like the deep thinkers. Like we used to go and see Cornell West and like kick it, like, you know, like hang out with these cats and Henry Louis Gates and all of these like people with like academics and arts and such. So we moved from Boston to Philadelphia, which is the home of the birthplace of my mother and that generation of her siblings. And that's when I got the jazz bug, and that's when I started getting jazz dragged around. We moved to Denver. My uncle was working at a seminary school. I did my last year at Denver, but I shined big because I already had this experience being in the club at 16 and 17. So I did my last year of high school in Denver. My folks are still there. I went to Ohio, to Oberlin Conservatory of Music. Met my ex-wife there. And well, she was my girlfriend at the time, and she was from Portland. I didn't know anything about Portland. The only thing I knew about Portland in the 90s from the TV was skinheads. That's how they portrayed Portland. So I moved to Portland. We was only supposed to be here 1 year. We've been here. We got 3 beautiful girls together. My ex-wife and me and my wife have 2 kids together. So we have a blended family of 5 kids. So, and I've been in Portland for 22 years now. Whew. You know, man, like, yo.
I have another question. You talk about the grind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there are people that you know that work hard, do the work, and yet they still don't get the results. Like, what do you do? How do you inspire those people to keep going? Because you know, like,
It's hard, yeah.
as a person who supports someone like that, you want them to do well, and you know they have it. How do you keep them going?
Yeah, I truly, I understand that, and I try to say, like, you gotta find a support system. You gotta find other like-minded people who are at the place that you're at, but also try to surround yourself and get in the circles of the people who are where you wanna be at and such, and network with them. Because the thing about it, when you're around other people that's creating, guess what? You're vibing off each other. You're creating off each other. But if you're hanging out with someone who's at a bigger level, you're learning and learning more from them and experience from them. Like, no one just started out big. Everybody started out at a certain place, but you gotta find people that's like-minded and really surround yourself. And they gotta be also like doing good and trying to do dope stuff and really do dope things in order for you to get to that place. But you know, you really just gotta find your support system of people. Like at one time, it was the Doodle Funk All-Stars. It was a bunch of us just like love music, love funk music, and we all came together. And now if you look at that one group, they're all over the world. They're performing all over the world. I think Steve Lynn's in New Zealand, Australia, and Tony Ozier is here doing dope things. Tyrone has been touring all over the country. Like Arietta just got back from London. Like the list could go on because we all found and supported each other. So you need a support system, not just family members, but other people doing your art and creativity. And I feel like those are things that help you get through the hard times and the grind and such, you know. I mean, besides that, there's other nuances and things, but I feel like I've always surrounded myself by people of my stature, and always, like, when I first learned about lifesavers, I was like, yo, where are they at? Let me go. We're going to go. I'm going to show up to the Red Sea. I'm going to show up to wherever they at. And or if DJ Free My Slim and the homies a DJ and Reverend Shine's a DJ and that, what is that, 12, they used to DJ at the spot 12 or something, 21, 20, so I don't remember what it was, but like, yo, I used to show up, just kick it, chill, have a drink, and support them cats and stuff, and that's what you gotta do, like find your people, like they say, find your people, find your tribe and such, like you've gotta find your people and they'll help support you.
Thank you. I want to concur. I go to Alberta Street Pub, and the magic there in Portland is amazing.
Oh yeah,
1905, you guys
yeah.
are just killing it.
We got
have
amazing
that
talent.
magic here for sure. Thank
Definitely.
you.
I'm very, definitely honored and fortunate for being here. You know, a lot of these people are, who I made records with. All of my records are made with them and such, and the homies and such. And I record on their records, and they record on my records. I don't know if we ever exchanged money. It was just like, even when the Young Bucks, Mike Capes hit me up like, yo, Farnell, I need you on this thing. I'm like, yo, what you need?
Yeah.
Send it to me.
That's community. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what you need?
That's
like, who else needs something? Like, Toe, what you need, Toe? It just,
But let me say this, though, for anybody who's listening, understand that there's, I'm going to steal a phrase from OG1, that's relational currency, though. These are people who you built with and who built with you over the years.
It's almost like bartering, and also you scratch my back, I scratch your back, because that's how communities are made.
Right.
Yo, let me, I grew up in the projects in Miami, like in the hood, like for real, like cocaine cowboys, like that was the real thing.
Yeah.
And, you had your neighbor that came through, yo, can I borrow a cup of sugar? Y'all got this and y'all got that. Yo, guess what? We got it. Until the next time, we might be knocking on your door, needing some mayo and some cheese and such. That's just how it was. You looked out for each other and you help each other build. So then, if I go up another notch, like why am I not bringing my dudes with me? Yeah. That's just how it is.
That's what's up. Bro, this has been, once again, it's been a joy and a pleasure and an honor, and I just want to say thank you for one, for just being on Klyph Notes. It's dope to be able to make this happen.
We've been trying to reconnect for so long, and when you started with XRAY a long time ago, and I remember from the KMHD2 back in Gresham,
KCME, the whole nine.
KCME, good Lord. But it's just like, like I was busy touring and I was busy gigging and such, and once I saw that I wasn't like, I'm not really like chasing after gigs. You know what? The thing is, I have more value on my time. I'm like, no, I can't do it.
Right.
You want me to play something? Nah. Now, if Tyrone called me, because it's the homies, and the homies called me and such, or somebody, my man Ben Allen from Complete Tracks or Easy's like, yo, I need you at the studio.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm right in St. John's. I'll be right over 15. Like, that's what you do. You you look after each other. Yeah. So, I appreciate you. I'm always trying to support and always, from you, DJ OG. But the thing about it, people got to understand the DJ is the heart, the pulse of it all. Like, like if you got the DJ in your corner, you knew what? Your music was always going to get spent. Yeah. Guess what? I don't think that many jazz artists got spent on the breakout show.
Yeah, right.
Cool Nuts was spinning. I used to live next to Cool Nuts.
Yeah.
Like I get up in the morning, he'd be like, I'm like, yo, what up, T? What up?
Yeah. Small world.
Yeah, that's what you do, Guess what? You support each other, we support you. Like, let's do it.
If people are wanting to continue to stay connected, because you just mentioned the 15 different things you got going, how should people tap in with you so that they can,
I'm on all the social media platforms. Farnell Newton, IG tried to shut me down for a little bit. Shout out to my man who works for Meta, who saved me.
Wait, you can't just bypass that, bro. You gotta tell that story, bro.
Dude, I just logged in one day and they said, you're trying to be, you're pretending to be someone else. And they shut me down for 2 weeks.
I want to know this dude at that.
No, I can't get that. They got a friends and family thing, man. And guess what? I reached out. I was complaining on LinkedIn, and he hit me up and was like, "Yo, what you need?" And I know him, so he was like, they got to fill out a form, and then they're like, "Do you know this person?"
Right.
And he's like, "Yeah, that's my dude." Like, right. I remember before he was working but they tried to shut me down. But I'm on all the social medias. Guess what? I respond to them all. If for some reason I didn't see it, it's probably in one of those hidden folders somewhere and such. Like, yo, if I didn't get your, if I didn't respond to you, hit me up on a comment or something and say, yo, man, I'm trying to reach out to you. I'm a so-and-so artist. Like, that's how you do it, even in the real world. Right. That's why I love social media, because I'm the same way on social media as I am in person.
Yeah.
I'm posting pictures about my dogs, my Crocs, and black businesses and local businesses and my family. Like, you know, I just got the new Salehi Bimberry Crocs, you know. But I don't got them on right now. But, you know, but that's me. I'm the same type of person. So find me on Farnell Newton, any of them things, hit me up. Let's work. Let's have coffee.
That's what's up. Hey, yo, man, y'all help me say thank you to Farnell Newton for being on this episode. So a couple of quick announcements, man, before I ask DJ Renz to spin for a bit. So like I said, this is the final in the series of Klyph Notes Live here at Showbar. So yeah, exactly. But I'm making an announcement here, and so you folk will be the first to officially hear this, and everybody who's listening to the podcast, which is available on everywhere you listen to audio, will get to hear this. Starting in January of 2023, Klyph Notes Live will continue. We will be at the Armory in Portland, at Portland Center Stage.
Shout out to the Armory.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be
shout
all
out
ages.
to Jonas.
Shout out to Jonas, Love Jones. You know what I mean, for the alley-oop. So really, really excited to be able to continue to create opportunities and platforms for people. And as you were talking about, just building community, had some really dope conversations with Mighty earlier about some things that we may be looking at doing, continuing to build with Akepele Apparel, and just once again appreciate the support there. So be on the lookout. We have dates already locked in for January, February, and March. We'll be making announcements on who the guests will be then. Some shows to make sure that y'all are up on, things that are upcoming. You won't hear this. If you're watching it live on Twitch, you'll know this. This weekend...
it's live.
Oh, yeah, we live, baby.
Oh, yeah.
This weekend at Oregon Convention Center is My People's Market. My People's Market 11 is the fifth birthday. Klyph Notes Live will be there. I'll be doing some interviews with some of the vendors and the founders and some artists. So you can come through Saturday and Sunday at Oregon Convention Center. Oh. My People's Market. I think there's like 140 vendors this year.
Yeah.
BIPOC vendors. Yeah. So it's gonna be really, really cool. Excited for that. Then on the 27th at the White Eagle, I'm back with DJ Ambush with No Requests, straight boom bap. It's just a vibe, man. It's therapy for real. So you can come through at the White Eagle for that. I'm gonna forget some stuff, but on December the 2nd, I'm super excited to be at the Crystal Ballroom with Cool Nuts and DJ Fatboy and DJ OG1. I'm gonna be hosting the greatest MC to ever touch a microphone, the man who changed hip hop. Rakim is going to be in Portland, so I'm super psyched to be a part of that. Tickets are available right now, Crystal Ballroom, Rakim, Portland. If you're listening to this, go to the Crystal Ballroom and get your tickets right now. It's going to be so dope. So that's going down on December the 2nd. Rakim live in Portland, so come through for that. December the 10th.
Yo, that's Rakim.
Bruh.
Dude,
bruh,
man.
I'm so psyched for that. December the 10th, I'm gonna be back at the White Eagle for mic check. It's the last mic check of 2022. Dark Time Sunshine is gonna be in the building. Boom Bap Project and Bremer Bandon is gonna be there. So come through the White Eagle Saloon to find the mic check of 2022. There's probably some stuff that I forgot and charge it to my head, not my heart. But go to djklyph.com and there's all information there. Once again.
Project.
Say again?
I'm over here interrupting your podcast. Boom Bap Project. That's the homies, man.
Yeah,
Dumb.
man.
Come on,
We've
man.
been trying to do the Portland album release for their situation, but then COVID, and then COVID, and then
COVID.
And then COVID. So we doing it this one, bro. We ain't gonna let it go. Once again, to everybody in the room, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. It means the world. Everybody who subscribes to the Klyph Notes podcast, if you want to support in a real tangible way, you can support via Patreon, DJ Klyph on Patreon, or Venmo or Cash App.
75 cents a day.
Yeah, right. Come on, bro. Less than a cup of coffee. You can change the world.
Yeah.
Yo, once again, man, thank y'all so much. God bless you. We'll see you next time. Peace.